Thank you so much for staying glued to Breakfast Central. Now we get into some fashion conversations, as we touched a little bit on, some of the fashion discussions happening online before the break. But this time we're going to focus on the development of fashion in Africa. Now, beyond the glamour of the clothes and the runways, the fashion industry on the continent is a business that has the potential to contribute to efforts around job creation, especially among youth. Given that the African continent is home to the world's youngest population, I'm really excited to be joined by my girl, Claudia Lumor, who's the publisher, founder, and editor-in-chief of Glitz Africa, to delve into the world of fashion and style on the continent. Claudia has been celebrated on various platforms for her innovation and commitment to fashion development in Ghana and beyond. So really, really excited all the way from Ghana to have you here with us. Thank you so much for waking up early. I know you've had a really busy weekend. You're here you held a masterclass for Style by Zenith. How did that go?
It went really well. It went really, really well. I mean, seeing a young crowd that is hungry to do well and to get knowledge and to share and to network is really beautiful. I enjoyed it.
Okay, well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I'm pretty sure they were able to pick up a lot of wisdom and a lot of, because your journey has been. I've been honored to be able to witness your journey, because the evolution has been beautiful. But let's talk about your leaving banking to get into fashion and creating Glitz Africa. What was the process between you saying I love fashion, which you clearly live and breathe, and saying what I need is a publication and a fashion week as well?
Yeah, all of this, I mean, if I ever say that I sat down and I thought through it and I planned it, then I'm lying. It just happened by chance, I set out to be, a top banking executive, want to make my parents proud, wear the power suit and own a boardroom.
Well, you're still wearing the power suit. I see you right now in one ensemble. I see you.
Yeah, but, I just chanced an opportunity, something that I love. I've always loved magazine. I moved back home to Ghana, and we didn't have anything like that in Ghana. The ones that were there were not magazines that people like myself who moved back home will like to read, like a good lifestyle magazine.
Glam, good quality.
That really tell the story of Africa in a very tasteful manner. And that's what I'm passionate about, rebranding, changing our narrative, changing our story. I was one of those people that was always angry to say, everybody thinks we are all poor in Africa, but it is a beautiful continent. Great things are happening here, and we're ready for investment. So that's what I wanted to tell.
No, you certainly are, and you've played a central role in especially shaping that story where Ghana and Ghanaian fashion is concerned. But I mean, let's look at the magazine business, because that has also evolved a lot, from the time Glitz was founded. Globally, we're seeing, the print numbers going down and so forth. How have you been able to position Glitz in such a way, the magazine that is in such a way that people are still excited about it and it's still in circulation?
Yeah, I think it's the stories, is that we are very careful with the stories that we put in the magazine, carefully selected personalities, people that people are interested in them. So it's that reputation that really keeps us going. And also people know how authentic their stories are, and the way there to really rebrand, work with the people that we feature and brand them properly. It's done in a very tasteful manner as well, and the team behind it, and you can see that we're on a journey. If you see our first issue as compared to our 24th issue, you see that we've come on a journey, and we're still evolving, and we're still, celebrating Africa in a very tasteful manner. So I think that's what people see, and they love it. And the people that we feature as well, they enjoy what we do with them. We are here to tell their story in a good way, and I think they appreciate that, what we're doing for the country and Africa.
And do Ghanaians still, buy magazines? Like, Ghanaians still, excited about having that hard copy? Because especially in Africa, we're seeing less of it. I think globally, listen, I will always buy Vogue. No matter what, I always want my hard copy. So is that the positioning where people...
globally, everywhere, this is the position, this is where we are with publishing. We're facing it because digital is big now. Everybody, if you're a publisher, if you own a magazine, you don't have a digital version, everybody's going digital. But what we shouldn't forget is people still want to hold and they love the feel of the magazine.
Isn't it?
So now it's become more premium for us. That's much more, that's the one that you do for the people that want to hold you on their coffee table, have it on their coffee table, all of that. And then you have to feed the younger crowd. who have everything on their phone. They want to slide through everything.
Right.
So you have to be able to fit to all those well. The people who want the hard copy and the people who want the digital. So that's where everybody's going, and we're doing very well.
I'm glad you're talking about the young people because, you know, Glitz as a brand, because it's not just the magazine, you know, Glitz as a business has, you know, given so many opportunities to so many young people and has opened the Ghanaian industry, fashion industry primarily, in a massive space. We need to take a very quick break, but when we return, we're going to dig deep into how you've been able to create opportunities and be part of building a massive industry in Ghana. So we will be right back with Claudia Lumor as we discuss the development of fashion in Africa. She is fresh from Accra, Ghana, so really excited to have her in studio. So before the break, we were talking about how you've created, you know, jobs, opportunities, and also a pulse to an industry in Ghana. Was that intentional, or, you know, was it just a spillover effect of what you decided to set out and do?
You know what, I would say both. Yeah, because it wasn't really intentional, but from what we're doing, this is what is created, you know, and it's, you know, I went into an industry that I could see the talent, I could see what is happening in the country, but we didn't have platforms that, you know, will help bring all of these things out, or to allow the world or outside Ghana to see the talent and what we do in Ghana. So I mean, that was why I'll say it was intentional, because I set up the Glitz Africa Fashion Week because I saw what we could do in Ghana, and a lot of the young people, a lot of the designers are not able to leave the country. So my thing is, if we can't get all of them to leave the country to do shows and improve upon themselves and let the world see them, then let's put something together that will bring the world to Ghana to see what we have here. So in that sense, it was intentional. But then doing it automatically spill into, you know, develop this amazing fashion industry that we have in Ghana now that we're also very proud of, and it's generated, you know, the knockoff effects, you know, on different industries, and how we extended into, you know, makeup, hair. It's just graphic design, photography. It's something really amazing happening now, and it's really interesting to sit and watch. And
you know, I've met a lot of young Ghanaian creatives through you and through your platforms, and I've been able to watch a lot of them grow. And I love the fact that, you know, at Glitz you live by aspire to inspire, and you live it as well. And you know, what are some of the stories that stand out for you when you decide to pick out stories that you've followed from the beginning, and you've seen, you know, I think of Cal Vincent, and I'm like, this is a guy who, you know, started as a friend of a celebrity, became a stylist, and now he has his own collection. So, you know, what are some of your favorite inspirational stories of evolution that you've seen happen from Glitz?
You know what, so many of them, and you know, I wouldn't even start mentioning names, but it's just that journey, seeing some of them walking into your office, or you meet them, they're so shy, they can't even look at you in the eye, and within, you know, a couple of years, you know, bringing them in and encouraging and letting them know that, you know what, you're so good, that's why you're here, working with them behind the scene in the magazine, bringing them, throwing them into the Fashion Week, Style Awards, all of this, and then other people getting them to work with them. It's just really changed a lot of things. A lot of the, you know, before I used to say that when you tell in Ghana, like 10 years ago, 9 years ago, when we moved back to home, if you tell your parents that, you know, I want to make clothes, like, like seriously,
it wasn't an option, right? Yeah.
Let alone a photographer or makeup. But now you have a lot of people who work in the bank that have moved on to become makeup artists, photographers, and they're very proud about it. And people are supporting them.
They're earning a living.
And they are earning a good living out of it. So yeah. It's beautiful. It's nice to watch, to see what all of these things are.
I'm sure when you just take a step back and you're like, wow, okay, I didn't expect this to be this massive. And it gives me so much. I think that's what keeps me going, because people ask me this, you know, and remember, you know, you've seen it all, the journey that we go through, getting sponsorship, getting funding to do all of this. It's really, really tough, you know, but that's what keeps me going, because when I see what is happening in the industry, you know, it's not more about Claudia. This has gone beyond what Claudia, you know, is an industry, and you feel that pressure sometimes that you are, a lot of people are depending on your platform to do better, to bring their product out, to bring their business up, and you cannot say, okay, this is not going to happen. It's not about that anymore. You know, you're feeding a lot of people. It's
touching too many things for you to just leave it. So I think that keeps me going and help me to keep pushing to see what we can do with what we're doing.
And I've also, been fortunate enough to watch you evolve into, being more intentional with your mentorship and with advocacy as well. So not just trying to nurture young people through your business platform, but in a whole different, shall I say, profile or portfolio for Claudia with the United Nations, working with as a Goodwill Ambassador. Tell me about a little bit of your work. I know you've just come back from Nairobi as well. When do you rest? Like, Claudia, I get so upset because I'm like, we have the same hours in the day, but Claudia just landed from Nairobi. She touched Accra quickly, Lagos, fast. Before I know it, I know you'll be like New York, just quickly checking out New York Fashion Week to get inspiration but let's talk about, the UN.
I think it's very humbling for me because I'm very passionate. I'm a mother of 3, and I think naturally it really drew my attention in Ghana towards maternal health and childcare, and it's something I was doing on my own with my foundation. And somehow, as the story goes, like you'll be doing something in your small corner, but then I had a call from the UN headquarters that they wanted to work with me as a Goodwill Ambassador. I thought, oh my God, because they've never had anybody in Ghana before. And I was thinking, why me? But then why not you as well? So we've intentionally worked with them, doing advocacy work, fundraising for women with fistula, getting surgeries out. There's a lot we're doing. I just launched before I came here, Friends of UNFPA. So bringing in corporate people together, bringing in ambassadors, diplomats, all of these people together, raising funds and doing the work that we want to do in Ghana with maternal health, taking help to the people that actually need it. Is what I'm really passionate about. It's too much of the talking in the boardroom talking, but now let's go into the communities. Let's take the funding. Let's take the money. Let's take the let's go into the community and help the people who actually need this money. And that's what I really, I'm really passionate about.
And I hope you can keep us posted on some of your activities because we would love to follow this journey. But, it is coming to the end of the year.
Yes.
Coming to the end of a decade.
Yeah.
I want to know what will define Claudia Lumor's next decade, through Glitz. Through your advocacy work and so forth. 2020 to 2030 is where we're moving to. I know a woman like you has got a plan. Nothing just happens. Like, you've got a plan. But I'd love to know, just 1 or 2 things that we can look forward to that you will be delving into in the next few years.
Okay.
The way you're giggling, you're like, I want to keep some things secret.
Yes,
which ones should I share?
Okay, which one can I say? What I would say for me, going forward, partnership, because where we've got into as a brand, we need to allow ourselves to bring in great partnership so we can, go into Africa the way we want to go into Africa. Yeah. So that's a major thing for me as a business, getting the right partnerships to move forward. And also with what I love advocacy. I see myself doing more of this, touching more lives. We all, by the grace of God, with what we do, we get access and network to a lot of things. Right. But what we do with this access is really important, not keeping all this access to ourselves. How are we opening doors for other people as well with the access that we're getting? Yeah. So for me, being strategic about that and mentoring a lot of young people into the different access that I've been able or I'm granted or I have is something I'm really passionate about. So I want to do more work on that and also just move Glitz to the next level. And who knows, maybe retire a bit early and sit back and watch it all happen.
Right, retiring early sounds absolutely fabulous, darling. I'm going to come and share mimosas with you while we watch it all play out. And, very quickly before we go, this is me just throwing it out there. Yeah. I know you have plans to get more involved with the Nigerian industry and the Nigerian market next year. Yeah. Are you ready to drop any feelers about that? What can Nigerian women expect from this Mega Ghanaian Brand in 2020?
You know what? I've been really lucky to connect with a lot of Nigerian women. Very powerful, very influential. They're very strong. They go out for it. They're bold in the way they look, the way they speak. And I will love, and Glitz, we have the She Boss. We have Ghana Women of the Year honors, and it's something that with the network of people that we know here, we're growing here. I would love us to, you know, connect with them on some sort of level. So something that we want to bring here, you know, bring these amazing women together, celebrate each other, keep touching each other on our shoulder and say, you know what, you can do it. And then really that positive energy, you know, because I'm a huge advocate for people who say women are their own enemy. I never wanted to listen to that. We're not. You know, there's so many seats for everybody. We're all queens here. And when we all sit together, amazing, powerful thing can happen to this world. And that's what I'm looking forward to do.
I love that. We're all queens here. Claudia, thank you so much for your time this morning. I know you've got a really hectic schedule, so we really appreciate you getting out of bed so early for us. So thank you. And we're going to, you know, keep our eyes on Glitz Africa magazine, Glitz Africa Fashion Week, She Summit, Women of the Year honors, and of course your work with the United Nations. So much. Woo! And I was snoozing this weekend. Who am I?